for joining us on Morning Spring today on Western Spring Television. We left here on the program on Friday. We told you we will be here, and thank God we are here, and we are so much happier that you are here with us as well at Western Spring Television, where we say it as it is, no holds barred, and on this program where we talk about everything important. His get towards the public good, conversations that truly matter. This is where it happens. And I am Femi Ojo. And of course, Daniel is here. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Femi.
Yeah. How are you?
Great.
How's the weekend?
Oh, beautiful.
Beautiful.
Even though I feel like I still need some sleep.
You can sleep at any time, even now.
Absolutely. Good morning, distinguished viewers from all over the world. It's a pleasure to have you on the program again. Welcome once again to Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. We do this every day, every weekday from Mondays to Fridays, where we bring you the news, the biggest news, the biggest stories, insightful analysis, and of course, powerful conversations that shape our nation. So welcome once again to Morning Spring. Emeka Daniel is my name. Thank you for joining us.
And, while you're talking about your weekend, quite beautiful. Many things happen over the weekend as well. And very beautiful, some from persons, but then the politicians are doing what they know how to do best, And one word that has been used over and over now, and I think we will see for the next 2 years, is that word coalition. I think is the most used word right now, and in which politicians are having a go at themselves. We learned somewhere in the nation a meeting of the coalition people happened actually before it was disrupted. And the whole thing went into chaos, while at that meeting, you had Vice President Abubakar, former Vice President Abubakar, Atiku, Mr. P2B, Babachi Lawa, former SGF, many other persons were there. Obviously, nobody needs to tell you what was that about. And I think it was a Northern Coalition thing. And the whole thing went into chaos when I learned the Jigawa state representative, or the Jigawa representatives wanted to talk, and instead of allowing them to talk, somebody chose someone to talk on their behalf, and then everybody went gaga. Allegedly, we learned it was Babaji Lawa who nominated somebody to speak on behalf of the Jigawa contingent, and they were not having it to say, you can't come and choose somebody for us, but it's all part of the schemings, strategy, everything. At this time, it's more about my enemy's enemy is now in the same boat. Possibly they don't used to see eye to eye before, but because there is a common enemy that they need to unseat now, everybody will bury whatever they have against themselves and make sure, let's just remove these people and then we can come back. But then the people that are being targeted to be removed, that's the APC and the party in power, they are having people from those camps, from that camp, joining them every day. But they said everybody cannot sleep and put their heads at the same place. So we wait.
Absolutely.
And we watch as it unfolds.
My worry, anyway, in all this coalition talk is that where does it leave the people? It's not really about the people. That's my worry. All this coalition talk, politicians are meeting, they want to form a coalition and to take power from the ruling party. The question is, to what end? How does it benefit the people of Nigeria? That's my point. At the end of the day, it's all about politicians and their interest. Most of them are after their interest. It's not really about the people. That's the problem. Until we see leaders, until we see politicians who truly care about the people, because again, for me, if it's about the people, then politics shouldn't be a do or die affair.
Well,
it's about the people. If you really want to serve the people and the opportunity does not materialize, then why should you kill yourself? Why must it be you?
Serve.
Yeah, you want to serve. Okay, and the people, and there's no room to serve, then why are you struggling to serve someone? You want to serve and there's no room to serve, you can, okay, let someone else serve. Let me
with your
watch
life. Yeah.
So again, it's not about the people. That's my worry. It's all about politicians' selfish interests. They just want to, okay, you want to get power from the ruling party. To what end? What would you do differently? How exactly are you planning to change the lives of the people?
Well, they will tell you that they need power first before they can do all of that. They have been speaking about the failures of this government and now they are ready to better the lot, and now Nigerians cannot continue with that. But, you know, scratch that. In the PDP, all is completely broken down now because they are guy. That's Minister Wike has said, whatever peace deal we had, I'm out of it. Because there are some persons who are not ready to abide by agreement in agreement, the way we always say. And he has fingered one of his G5 people, Seyi Makinde, that is the one spoiling the whole thing. You are the one not agreeing. And, you know, online yesterday, people are saying they are waiting for the rough fight between Seyi Makinde and Wike because they were the good, jolly fellows, the G5 guys that walked against the PDP because they didn't believe in the northern presidential candidate that they had because they believed it was unfair on the south. Now, Wike is saying, he laid his points to say many things were agreed, and he agreed to them. All of a sudden, whatever he's agreed, he's always been somebody who always breach it. And it was categorical to say, oh, your state governor, Seyi Makinde, and people are waiting to see what will happen between Makinde again with Wike. Because many persons will say, why is Wike always having problem with people? But some will say, why are people always breaching agreement? Because their guy has always said, he's a lawyer guy. That's Minister Wike. Whatever we agree to do, let's do it. The moment you begin to breach it, but now he has said he's out of it and he's going to fight to the last to ensure justice is done. Whatever that justice is.
That's question. Again, it's quite unfortunate for the PDP at this time. You know, they've been trying to rebuild their house, but unfortunately they are not agreeing. And he calling out Seyi Makinde categorically. I think we should look at it carefully. He has some points here. Now, we all know that Seyi Makinde hosted the PDP governors, not quite long ago in Ibadan, in Oyo State, where they agreed to make the Deputy National Secretary as acting secretary. That was not their agreement. Okay, it was at that meeting, okay, of PDP governors, Southwest in Oyo, that Seyi Makinde orchestrated all that stuff. So Wike is calling him. He's not saying it behind his back. He's calling him out directly.
Doesn't say anything
that you are the one, exactly, that you are the one, destroying this party. You are the one pulling down this party.
But that's Wike's position.
But again, it's very simple. Why can't they just put their house together? We have Senator Samuel Anyanwu as the national secretary. But you people are putting forward, he is saying that Seyi Makinde is orchestrating people to put forward Ude Okoye as national secretary. Now they are their neck. INEC wouldn't attend their neck because it was signed by Deputy National Secretary, not the National Secretary, Samuel Anyanwu.
Whom is alleged that the other camp, the Seyi Makinde camp, put forward as the acting National Secretary, but in which the INEC doesn't recognize because they were not properly invited by the
they needed to see the signature of
the real and authentic national secretary. So who is the national secretary? Yeah, it's a lot, and you're talking about pulling their house in order. I'm not sure if there's anything still called a house that can be put together, and many things will still happen. But now that he has spoken yesterday to say, I'm out of it, Seyi Makinde, you are the problem. This morning, people will be waiting for Seyi Makinde to say, this is my position on this matter.
But the interesting part is that he said we fight with justice. I don't understand. What kind of justice
we wait
are we talking about here?
Possibly we might never understand, but we wait to see. A lot to really talk about. Politics happening, coalition here and there. People of like minds, people of unlike minds have been put together by likely interest. We wait to see. And if it is really about you, the Nigerian people, stay with us. We'll be back. Thank you. We are now at the headline segment where the Nation newspaper will be our first point of call. The Nation. Weekend's walk back on peace deal sinks PDP deeper in confusion. Weekend's walk back on peace deal sinks PDP deeper in confusion. With riders saying Minister indexed Governor Makinde and iron will shift tomorrow's NEC meeting. Interesting. Such a powerful national secretary. By the way, all secretaries are always powerful. In fact, there is no association without a secretary. Wike's walk back on peace deal sinks PDP deeper in confusion, and we mentioned that earlier. And you have the picture of the Nigerian Air Force helicopters on display during the celebration of 61st anniversary of the Air Force in Abuja at the weekend. You can see these military-grade choppers and helicopters, which the Air Force are the best, gallant men and women. Now, Port Harcourt refinery on hold for 30 days. Here we go. All right, when some person said, you guys were just
refinery on hold again?
Yeah.
After spending another $1.5 billion on refurbishment.
On hold. All right. And you have the picture of the NNPC GMD Bayo Ojulari there. We hope it works. And all of these, facilities should work, because Nigeria has spent a fortune on them.
You know what's on my mind right now, Femi? Yeah. Port Harcourt refinery. His former president, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. He would just be laughing. He said it. They were gloating and saying, hey, come and see. It's working, it's working. But again, what's up? We are seeing the reality right
He knew that thing can never work because he has been in charge before, But then we are still patriotic and optimistic about what he said. Let this thing be sold. It can never be maintained. And, here we are right now, 30-day on hold. For what? We to see. Now, Atiku Obi, Amechi at coalition talks. Malami Babachi pledge support. Interesting. Malami. That should be the former AGF.
SGF, yeah. Absolutely.
Malami Abubakar from Kebbi State. Now, Atiku Obi, Amechi at coalition talks. Malami Babachi pledge support. And bottom strip, $600 million lithium processing plant ready soon, says Alaki. Interesting. Lithium, the new global oil right now, if you ask me. Now, Lagos ranked fastest growing in tech. Lagos ranked fastest growing in tech. You might want to pick up a copy of this paper to know among which state. Is it in Nigeria? Is it in Africa? Or in the world?
That's be Nigeria.
All right. Well, never say never. Listed companies paid 1 trillion naira dividends in 2024, SEC declares. And 1999% of candidates scored below average in UTME receipt. 1999, that controversial, JAMB exam receipt. 1999%, or 99% rather, of candidates scored below average in UTME receipts. All right.
It's worrisome. So what's the point?
Right. Exactly. 1999, that means scored below average. Average should be 200.
Yeah. So they still scored less than 200.
All right. And but then that should be proved as well. You know why? Because the whole thing is already controversial, very messy as well. There are some who want to say, maybe conspiracy theory though, that maybe the fact that that thing was done that way and it came out almost with the same result, I want to be a kind of phony justification, from JAM to say it's exactly what it is. We didn't do any hanky-panky. But then I've seen a couple of, persons online saying they scored very far below. Now they are doing well. Maybe those ones are the 1% that scored above average. It is not even about 300, scoring below. So we are back at the same point, isn't it?
Exactly. That's the point.
All right. Now, power sector reforms raise hopes, but challenges linger. That will be all from The Nation.
And from The Nation newspaper, we move straight to the front page of The Guardian newspaper this morning. Despite 7 trillion naira subsidy savings, states fail to cushion hardship, hunger. Despite 7 trillion naira subsidy savings, states fail to cushion hardship, hunger. You find a full story on on page 6. Imagine we've saved up to 7 trillion naira as a result of subsidy removal. We talked about that on Friday on the program here, but unfortunately, states are failing to cushion the hardship in the economy. People are still suffering. People are still hungry. A lot of Nigerians living under the international poverty line, which is $2.15. Quite unfortunate. And just below that, you can see the breakdown. You have 7 trillion naira estimated saved in 2 years of subsidy removal. Let's look at some of the breakdown here. The analysis, we have the FAC allocation. That's the Federation Account Allocation Committee. For 2024, we have 15.26 trillion naira. For 2023, we have 10.143 trillion naira. For 2022, we have 8.209 trillion naira. So you see how much it has grown from 2022, which is about 8, to 2023, about 10. Then now in 2024, 15.26 trillion naira given out to states. What have they done with it? States have not really cushioned the effect of hardship and hunger among their people, despite the huge savings from subsidy removal. Talking about 7 trillion naira in 2 years. Still on that, let's look at price per liter. Going to price per liter, we have 2023, we had it at 175 naira per liter. Talking about fuel cost now. Then 2024, we have it at 1,030 naira. Then 2025, we have 900 naira. Well, Dangote has done a couple of reductions, recently reduced by 15 naira again. But as Nigerians, we make bold to say that it is still high. Okay, fuel prices are still high in Nigeria, and that's just the truth. Below that, let's look at the exchange rates. I'm looking at the exchange rates for 2023, May 2020. That's at May 2023. It was 460 naira, 70 kobo per dollar. Then for May 2024, it was 1,533 naira, 99 kobo. Look at that leap from May 2023, 460 naira, to May 2024. Within a year, 1,533. The naira nosedived. That's quite unfortunate. Then for May 2025, we have it at 1,596, which is roughly 1,600 right now, talking about the exchange rate. Still on the analysis, then let's look at the inflation. For May 2023, we have 22.41. For May 2024, we are 33.95%. Then for April 2025, of course, May inflation rate is not yet out. So for April 2025, we have it at 23.71. That's a slight reduction from the 24.23 of March 2025. So that's just the analysis right there. Then for fuel importation, finally, in this analysis, let's look at fuel importation right here. We had 44.6 million liters per day in 2024. Then we have 14.7 million liters per day in 2025. So talking about fuel importation now, we've seen a sharp reduction from 44.6 million imported per day in 2024 to 14.7 million liters per day imported in 2025. Well, thanks to Dangote Refinery, which has started operations, and of course they are supporting. And of course, as a result of this reduction, it led to the shutdown of a lot of tank farms, since we are not importing so much as we used to. But again, the people are still suffering. Subsidy has been removed. Over 7 trillion naira saved in 2 years. How has it trickled down to the average Nigerian? That's a big question. Nigerians are still suffering, quite unfortunate. States are not doing much, and that's what this analysis is all about. Because again, the federal government has made some allocations, but it is not it's not trickling down to the ordinary Nigerian. Away from that analysis, moving on to other stories, still on the front page of the Guardian newspaper this morning. FG unveils air cargo corridor, offers Nigerian exporters 50% discount. Federal government unveils air cargo corridor, offers Nigerian exporters 50% discount. You find a story at the finance and economy section, page 23 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Away from that, 71% of rescheduled UTME candidates score below 200, says JAMB. 71% of rescheduled UTME candidates score below 200, says JAMB. You find that story on page 3. Now, the Guardian is reporting 71%. The other one, we saw 99%. Just a little quite conflicting reports right there, but it still boils down to the fact that majority of the students still scored less than 200 at the receipt. Away from that, North holds key to solving Nigeria's problems, says Obi. North holds key to solving Nigeria's problems, says Obi. You find a story on page 3 that the North holds the key. All right. Perhaps you should try get the key from them and unlock and solve the problems of Nigeria. Away from that, military destroys over 100 illegal refinery sites in 5 months. Military destroys over 100 illegal refinery sites in 5 months. You'll find a story on page 8 of the Guardian newspaper. And just below that, Nwokobia Adebayo blast APC's fear-driven strategy, urged Tinubu to govern. Nwokobia Adebayo blast APC's fear-driven strategy, urged Tinubu to govern. You find that story on page 3. And just below that, we have another one. PDP postpones NEC meeting amid uncertainty over action against Atiku Wike. PDP postpones NEC meeting amid uncertainty over action against Atiku Wike. And right there, you can see the pictures of Atiku Wike right there. And just below that, at the bottom strip, IPI flays end for removing Channels TV crew from Akwa Ibom's government house. You find that story on page 8. And that'll be all from the front page of the Guardian newspaper this morning.
All right, from the Guardian newspaper, we move to the next, which is the Tribune for today. The Tribune, PDP, Wike withdraws from peace accords. There is one particular very viral soundbite on social media that people usually use it when they want to do something violent. You hear, the thing is, I don't want peace. Have you heard it before?
I want trouble always.
Or problem. This is the part where this thing is supposed to be played over and over at the PDP headquarters. No, by the way, the PDP secretariat is able to be taken over today by the FCT administration.
Yeah, when you said popular sound on social media, another one actually came to my mind. I thought you were going to say Kasongo,
Kasongo is when something bad happens and it's funny. That's when they usually use it. But this one is, it's about I don't want peace, I want problems. That's what is happening now. But the man will say he's not the one that doesn't want peace. It's like his people doesn't want peace. So anything peaceful, anything about peace, count him out. He's ready now for the war.
And he said he actually made a lot of sacrifices for most of these governors to even win their election. That he has done more than most of them for the party.
It is his to say, it is theirs to refute or to confirm. That's it. And, he was categorical. He mentioned names and how he was able, to rally support and to consent to some of those peace agreements, but he said some persons wouldn't want that, so he as well doesn't want that again. Again, from the Nigerian Tribune, boldly rating PDP, Wike withdraws from peace accords, blames Makinde, vows to fight until justice is served, claims credit for most PDP governors' election, controversy rages over national secretary. All right. Now, below that, we have Ekiti communities endorse Oyebanji for second time. It's the season of endorsement, isn't it? If endorsement can come for the man at the center? Why can't endorsement come for those at the state levels as well? Endorsements have been rolling in from Osun State to where now? Ekiti State and all of the states.
And of
especially
course,
for
recently, the National Assembly endorsed a massive endorsement.
Yeah, that's what I said. At the center, I think that's a foregone conclusion. As far as endorsement is concerned, I mean, at the start of many endorsements to come, because when the leadership at the National Assembly have done it, you will be hearing regional endorsement, state endorsement, local level, all organizations. Now, Daniel for Better Life organization.
Thank God I'm not endorsing anyone. I'm not a politician.
You rather endorse good governance, right?
Absolutely.
From wherever it is coming from. Good governance is good governance.
Absolutely.
It doesn't respect party. It doesn't respect tribe or tongue.
For me, exactly.
If you are doing
for
well,
me, I don't care.
well.
I don't care about tribe or religion.
It doesn't matter.
No, it's painful when I see people,
it shouldn't matter.
You know, when I see people base their support on tribal and religious sentiment.
What is politics if not sentiment? Actually. All right. Ekiti communities endorse Oyebanji for second term, and federal government moves to deepen $1.5 billion Lekki Port Channel beyond 16.5 meters. You know, that's dredging there. Deepen 1.5 billion Lekki Port Channel beyond 16.5 meters. And NDLEA intercept 6.5 billion naira opioids in Lagos, Rivers, ports, arrest 2 Britons, right? And 2025 UTME, 17,025 candidates for 300 and above. JAM, 17,000 out of 372,000, I guess. Now, releases result of rescheduled exams. Underage candidate results also released. An article could be Amechi others in closed-door meeting with National Political Consultative Group. Tensions flare as Jigawa delegates disrupt proceedings. And top strip. Federal government launches intra-African air cargo corridor with 50% discount. Federal government launches intra-African air cargo corridor with 50% discount. Unlocks East and Southern Africa for Nigerian exporters. Again, federal government launches intra-African air cargo corridor with 50% discount. Unlocks East and Southern Africa for Nigerian support exporters. And here, Utomi defends shadow cabinet, calls for democratic renewal. All right, I think that will be all from the Nigerian Tribune for today.
And I guess that'll be all on newspaper review this morning. We'll take a break. When we return, the program continues. Please stay with us.